Hello everyone and thank you for tuning into TradeChat. My name is Panzer and I am here again with another Overwatch Lore video. I know it's been a while, but I'm back and I'm going to be talking about Pharah today, and we're going to discuss all the hard-hitting topics like who's her daddy. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you do, remember to rate it thumbs up. Pharah Amari, or Pharah as you may know her, is the daughter of renowned Egyptian sniper Anna Amari. She was born 2 years before the formation of Overwatch during the Omnic Crisis. Her mother was one of the 6 founding members of Overwatch. It's made clear to players that Anna and Pharah have a complicated relationship. Being that Anna was active in Overwatch during the Omnic Crisis and the Golden Age, it's likely that she was absent for more of Pharah's childhood than either of them would have liked.
Pharah, your mother was a hero to me. To all of us.
You probably knew her better than me.
Anna apparently urged her daughter to choose a non-military career, something which Pharah has expressed bitterness about to other heroes.
Pharah, your mother always hoped you'd follow in her footsteps.
She did? Funny, she never mentioned that to me.
Since Anna's introduction to the game as a playable hero, the two have seemed to reconcile.
I'll be watching your back out there, Pharah.
Then I have nothing to worry about. I always dreamed of the day we would fight together.
Wanting a better life for you was all I ever dreamed of.
Mom, I know why you didn't want me to join Overwatch, but it's still what I want.
I didn't want that life for you, but I know that it's your decision.
Inherently altruistic and driven by honor, Pharah longed to protect people and make the world a safer place. Her lifelong dream was to join Overwatch like her mother and the other heroes of her childhood. Pharah joined the Egyptian army against the wishes of her mother, who had hoped for a better life for her daughter than the chaos and heartbreak of war. Regardless, or perhaps in spite of this, Pharah rose through the ranks to a leadership position where she was admired and respected by her brothers and sisters in arms. She was set to join Overwatch, but before that happened, the organization disbanded following accusations of corruption and negligence. Undeniably disappointed that she'd never fulfill her aspirations of Overwatch glory, Pharah shifted gears to work for Helix Security International. This is where she picked up and learned to use that nifty Raptora Mark 6 suit. Helix Security International was contracted to defend an AI research facility which was hosting a god AI beneath the Giza Plateau. Pharah embraced her new position because Helix was vital to the safety of the world, given the immensity of what they were protecting, even if nobody knew exactly what that was. Many people believed that the temple was under protection because it contained sacred, religious, or archaeologically significant artifacts, but we see the sobering immensity of power beneath the Temple of Anubis in Pharah's comic mission statement. Something happens, resulting in the involuntary hijacking of any nearby AI, including those loyal to Helix Security and Pharah. In the comic, we see a Helix-employed AI, Okoro, kill himself to avoid being taken over and hurting his friends. Pharah's heroic actions during this disaster lead her to taking the place of Helix Security International's fallen captain. Now that we've got all of her meat and potatoes lore out of the way, let's talk about some of these parental claims that have been flying around lately about Pharah's father, and let's look at the facts and the evidence that can either support or deny such accusations. The first potential father for Pharah is Reinhardt, and the big tinfoil theory around this is the skin variants, because Anna has all these jewel-toned skins, and Reinhardt has metal-themed skins, and then Pharah kind of has a mix of both, so this is curious. This is so curious. There's also the fact that Reinhardt sort of flirts with Anna.
Reinhardt, I must say you're looking quite well. This life must agree with you.
And you are looking as lovely as ever.
Another piece of evidence that people like to use that Pharah is Reinhardt's daughter is this interaction.
Reinhardt, you know, I had a poster of you on my wall when I was younger.
I remember the poster. My hair was amazing.
I, on the other hand, would use evidence to say that that is the contrary. I do not think that Reinhardt is Pharah's father. If you want to look at the poster quote, Michael Chu at San Diego Comic-Con 2016 said that Pharah knows who her father is. Everybody knows who Pharah's father is. We just don't. So it's not a secret. And it would be really weird for her to be like, hey, Dad, I had a poster of you when I was a kid. And him be like, oh, yeah, daughter, I looked great in that poster. That's all a very weird interaction. Not to mention, she always calls him Reinhardt. Like, she refers to Anna as her mother, but she does not refer to Reinhardt as her father, so that's kind of strange. Then you have the whole idea that Anna gave birth to Pharah 2 years before the formation of Overwatch, so how would they have met? That's kind of confusing, I don't know. And then also, I don't mean to be that guy, but Pharah looks nothing like Reinhardt. I just can't imagine her being his offspring. I know that it's genetically possible to look nothing like one of your parents, but I feel like for the idea of a video game, if her father was going to be Reinhardt, she would probably be lighter skinned than her mother. Don't drag me, I'm just saying. Another theory that people love to throw around is that Soldier 76, Jack Morrison himself, is Pharah's father. And I think a lot of the reason that people like to bring this up is that people want there to be this like love triangle between Reaper and 76 and Anna, because it would explain a lot more of their falling out. Plus there was this photo that's sort of like foreshadowing. There's also this interaction.
Your mother would have been proud of you.
You didn't know my mother very well then.
I feel like this makes very little sense as a piece of evidence to support that Jack is her dad, because he's such a stand-up guy. He's a hero. He's got a lot of compassion. We see him save a little girl in the animated short that's titled Hero. I just don't see him being this absent father who then comes in and says things like, your mother would be proud. It doesn't really fit his character at all. And then she was also born 2 years before the formation of Overwatch, so how the heck would they have met? And she looks nothing like him. I hate to be that guy that keeps saying that, but I just feel like for the purpose of video games, if she was going to be half white, like, she would be lighter skinned. I don't believe it. I don't buy it. Jack Morrison, you are not the father. And the last theory that's been floating around the internet a lot, as you probably could have guessed since I talked about a love triangle, is Reaper or Gabriel Reyes, and he has a few interactions with Anna that are certainly suspect.
I shouldn't be surprised you took his side. Guess you're going back on my list, Anna.
What happened to you, Gabriel?
Now, my feelings about Reaper, Gabriel Reyes, whatever you want to call him, are definitely for another video, but I don't think that Reaper's anger and his feeling of betrayal has anything to do with a love triangle. I don't even think it's like personally something that happened with 76. I know there's a lot of people that are like, oh, it's because 76 got promoted and Reaper wanted to get promoted. I genuinely don't even think it's that. We'll talk about that in another video, but I just feel like a love triangle would be such a petty reason for, you know, Gabriel Reyes to, you know, stoop to Reaper's level. So that seems strange to me. And then I also think it'd be kind of a cop-out storyline. Like, what is this, Star Wars?
No, I am your father.
I'm not trying to be ridiculous. I at least believe that he could possibly be her father. I just think it would be a lame addition to his storyline, and I think when we find out more about him, it's going to be way better than some stupid, petty Maury Povich love triangle. So I don't really think Reaper's her father either. So you're probably thinking to yourself, Panzer, who the heck is Pharah's father if none of these fine, upstanding gentlemen? And to that I say, hear me out. I have a lot of reasons why I think what I think, which we're going to talk about at the end. But the first thought that I have has to do with her Native American themed skins, Thunderbird and Rain Dancer, because history has taught us that Blizzard likes to implement skins for heroes that are relevant to their cultures. So we have things like Mariachi Reaper, Oni Genji, Goddess Symmetra, and Valkyrie Mercy. Taking all of these examples of Blizzard incorporating culturally relevant skins into heroes' closets, I don't know. I feel like it is very likely that Pharah has Native American in her somewhere.
Should I say giggity? Are other people allowed to say giggity? Giggity. What? Nothing. It's stupid.
In all seriousness though, if she wasn't Native American and she had these very clearly Native American skins, I kind of think that would be cultural appropriation. And I'm not saying that I would personally be offended by that, but other people definitely would be. And I feel like Blizzard's a little more sensitive of a company, that they're not trying to cause a controversy about being culturally insensitive. So I think that Pharah's father is obviously an upcoming hero, or more likely a villain. I mean, we have seen Anna show compassion for villains in the past. She always refers to Reaper by his first name, Gabriel. She didn't take the shot on Widowmaker when she had the chance because she knew Gerard's wife. And so it's not beyond reason to think that Anna could have fallen in love with a good guy in a bad situation, or that ran with a bad crowd, or maybe someone who did bad things for good intentions. But that would also explain why Pharah does not talk about him at all, because Pharah, being someone who's all about justice and honor and, you know, just being a good person, would not be proud of the fact that her father was a bad guy. Even if there was context that made him less bad, I don't think she would be okay being associated with that. So it would make a lot of sense to me, both with Anna's character and Farah's character, that the father would be a villain. I also think it's pretty likely that Farah's father is going to have been in the military at some point. Blizzard said she came from a line of highly decorated soldiers. That usually implies more than one. So I have a feeling her dad was in the military, which could also explain how her mom would have met him prior to Overwatch, because if they're both highly decorated soldiers, it's not unlikely that they would be paraded around for diplomatic or political purposes, or that one of them could have been stationed near the other one. I feel like there are ways to explain how that would be possible. I also think it is very possible that Farah's father has ties to Route 66, the map. So maybe he's from the Midwestern part of the US. That's a very culturally relevant area for Native Americans, but also that is where the Deadlock Gang kind of set up shop, set up HQ, and it makes me wonder if her father was in the Deadlock Gang, if, you know, when Reaper keeps making these little digs that Anna is saying, like, you chose him over me, like, what if he wasn't talking about Jack Morrison? What if he was talking about Farah's father? Maybe Overwatch did sting on the Deadlock Gang, which we know happened because that's how McCree ended up in Overwatch. You even see it on the map. Reaper comes in and says,
"This is where I picked up the damn ingrate."
So we know that Overwatch has been to Route 66 to do some sort of Deadlock Gang disassembly in recent-ish history. That's where they picked up McCree, obviously. But what if when Reaper says to Anna, like, you made your choice, what if he's not talking about Jack Morrison? What if he's talking about Farah's father? Maybe she had a shot on him and didn't take it. I mean, obviously, that's something that's very much in her character, and maybe that's the whole reason that the Deadlock Gang fell apart. Maybe her actions there could have been even part of why Reaper felt like Overwatch fell apart, because people weren't like doing their duty and they weren't doing the honorable thing. I'm just saying, it's an interesting piece of food for thought to nibble on. One last thought before I wrap this up is that maybe Farah's dad is also Canadian, because you could be both Native American and Canadian. Back in the olden days when the settlers were being real dicks to Native Americans, a lot of them got displaced to Canada or Mexico, so it is very, very possible that you could have someone who is both Native American and Canadian, and Michael Chu confirmed at San Diego Comic-Con 2016 that we were getting a Canadian hero. Plot twist, he could also be Native American. Mind blown. I know. So to TLDR all of that for you, Farah's father is not in game. At least I don't think so. I don't think he's Reaper. I don't think he's 76, and I don't think he is Reinhardt. I feel like he is someone that hasn't been introduced to us yet. I don't know if he'll be a playable hero or he's just something we'll find out about in the future, but either way, I don't believe that he is in game yet, or that he's anyone that we've been introduced to yet. I think he is of Native American descent, and he is either from Canada or the Midwestern portion of the United States. I think he was there for a big event on Route 66 because he was part of the Deadlock Gang, and I think that Reaper's animosity with Pharah actually has to do with that interaction, not Soldier 76 at all, despite what popular belief is. So I would love to hear your theories, though. Let me know in the comment section below who you think Farah's dad is, because I'm probably wrong. I'm wrong all the time. I can handle it. I am gonna go. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please thumb it up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I love you all so much. You're in my hearts. I'll see you soon. Goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye.